All right, good evening, folks. Here we are, PA Wrestling's coverage of the 2017 South East Regional Tournament here at the phenomenal Souderton Gymnasium. Tonight we're joined by special guests for our recap/preview of tomorrow. Recap of tonight, preview of tomorrow. Sam Walters and Bill Rudick. Bill Rudick, this is probably your second or third time joining us. Sam's first time. So we're just going to talk a little bit about what we saw tonight. Talk about what you can expect to see tomorrow if you're making a trip out for just the semis and the finals. Something that we think that we observed that you'll could end up seeing. First I'm going to start off just to we're going to talk a little bit about some surprises we saw tonight, and I'm going to talk about two guys. I got like 12 guys here that really caught my eye, and we all been here since the start. Two guys I want to talk about. One went 1-1, and Evan Whiting. Underclassman from Penridge, wins his first match, which I think a lot of people picked to win, and then went out and pushed Colin Cronin to the brink. Cronin was a match where he didn't look himself. I know he's sick, injured, both. However, he went 2 injury timeouts, and Rudick, Bill had a great front row seat to it about the end of the match where they called a stalemate with 6 seconds to go, just as Whiting was about to come out, right, Bill?
That's the way it looked to me. They were in a situation where I'm not sure that the stalemate was necessarily a bad call, but I think the timing of it was a little bit late. 10-15 seconds where the guy on bottom is going to have a little bit more time to work is probably the way to go. But it is what it is. The stalemate call had to stand.
Yeah, and the other guy I want to talk about just quick, and maybe we'll knock off some of the others in a little bit, is Ryan Sharpless from Octorara. A guy came in, and I talked about a few guys in my preview about it, having that back pocket of being tough on top and having that ability that maybe they get beat from their feet and get beat when they're on bottom, but then they have the opportunity to take that choice and get on top. Or a guy is maybe not doesn't make the proper choice and goes down on them on not knowing. And all Sharpless did was in 2 matches where he's behind, come out and pin both guys. And first victim was Jason Zollers from Owen J. Roberts. Zollers took the 2-1 lead in the second period. He gets the choice and goes down, and Sharpless gets on top and punishes him and before pinning him. And I know Sam and I were Matt's side for that one. And then again in the quarterfinal he comes out against Max Fitzgerald from Academy Park. Correct. Same thing. It was a great match. Went back and forth. Fitzgerald had the lead, put him on his back. Sharpless fought off, and then Sharpless got on top and went to work there. So
Ryan's been a surprise the whole postseason. I don't think any given week anybody was saying the name Ryan Sharpless, but this is 3 weeks in a row. He's in the semifinals. He's 1 win away from Hershey.
Yeah. Go ahead.
He's a really even-keeled kid. He's one of those guys that, looking at him, you would never tell whether he's winning or losing by his face, and he just does what he needs to do, and 1 win away.
Yeah, he was down like 3 or 4 points there towards the end down the stretch against Fitzgerald, and he didn't look rattled at all. He just believed
turned him twice.
Exactly, believed in what he did, and the second time proved to be for a fall. So, Sam, anyone that you saw that stood out for you today?
Yeah, I actually had Whiting, you already mentioned. I didn't
Sorry,
get this.
I stole your thunder.
Yeah, it's all right. But he was impressive in his ability to in the takedowns there in the first period. Started real strong. I also had the Delaney wrestling wild, real tough.
Killian Delaney.
Killian Delaney. He's I don't know. He's been impressive all year, obviously. And he came out strong against Wild. Real tough match. I think it was wound up as like 3-1. I think at the end. So, but very very poised freshman. So he's got big things coming.
Yeah, and Delaney having the win over Chris Eck fall in his first match. Again, being a senior as freshman, I said before I'm pretty high in the kid as far as he's got a high ceiling as far as future goes. But this year I have him picked coming back to take third, and we'll see how that pans out. So, Bill, go ahead.
Yeah, I finally found the one that I had circled. Eric Hutchinson. I thought he looked very impressive today in his 2 wins against wrestled Solinsky in his first match. I'm not sure what the score. You forget the score there, but he looked very good on his feet today, and against is it Calliner?
Calliner,
yes. I mean, his it was just down block, go behind, down block, go behind, down block, go behind. It was just constantly, and he looked good today. I thought he was impressive.
Yeah, and this is another guy I got to see for eyes on for the first time last week, and again using that strength, that frame. He's hard to score and hard to get to his legs. He's compact, real strong, and he really has that ability to just slow down matches and make guys wrestle his style. Bill, anyone, a couple guys you wanna talk about?
Another one I thought looked good today was another Henderson boy, Jacob Reed.
Yep.
Was very convincing in a 7-0 win over Radnor in the quarterfinals, and he's got a tough one with Burke, but that's just one stacked weight class.
Yeah, I think I owe Reed an apology. I had Radnor beating him. I actually had Radnor going to the final in that weight class, and Reed was on another level today, and he was just he was a man on fire in that round, and I'm excited if he wrestles that way tomorrow against Burke. And Burke was another guy I had on my list. We'll talk about him in a second. It could be a barn burner. Talking about Burke, he was super impressive tonight, right, guys? I mean,
yeah. Talk about another kid that was tough on top, man. That kid, whether it's his legs or cradles, whatever. I mean, and he's a gamer. So, and it seems like every week, he's gotten stronger. I've always thought highly of the kid, and he's wrestling really well. So should be a good semifinal match tomorrow.
Another comeback kid in a weight class that you could have pretty much dropped a grenade on, and because of the upsets and the way matches went back and forth, was McCoy from Tenet. He again comeback kid, down in both matches. Turns around, ends up getting the fall. First against Tommy DeSisto from Plymouth Whitemarsh. The second match, Jack Files wasn't handling him, but was in control of the match for sure. And McCoy just kept battling, and maybe it's the power of the mustache he's got going on.
Yeah,
he has the second best mustache here at regionals. August Gershwin, hands down, best mustache I've seen all season. So
yeah.
Other guys we can talk about, Gunnar Fuss getting a little redemption on Matt Marino.
Very poised.
Exactly. It was a match that was, I felt like Fuss never panicked, never felt like he was in trouble by anything Marino threw his way. So.
No, not at all. Even when he's in deep and gets stalemated there, and he comes right back, gets the takedown right like within the next 30 seconds, I think. So it was pretty impressive.
Another guy that I've been big on all postseason, Nick Lilly. Sam and I were standing Matt's side for his match with Cam Robinson, and Robinson's a slick freshman, and he scores the first takedown, and I think Sam was like, oh, he made his freshmen for real, and Lilly just he just grinds, and he just keeps at you, and he's like, you like him, that guy just always there, and he doesn't give you an inch. He didn't let Robinson breathe down the stretch.
Yeah, and I think he was down 2 with like 15 seconds left and got that toss. He was down at least 1, and he got that nice toss and some backs to seal the deal. That was pretty impressive, actually.
And Chase Smith, another guy, spring forward. I talked about him in the preview too, where he didn't wrestle varsity most of the season, breaks the lineup, was 8-8 on the season last year in his regional qualifier. He comes in and he wins 2 matches. He's in the semis tomorrow. Include in his wins. I gotta look ahead.
He wrestled Stevens from CBE, who was undefeated coming into the tournament. So.
Yeah, gives Colin Stevens his first loss of the season, and just super impressed by him. Andrew Lamberjack from Westchester Ruston wins 2 close matches, come from behind, and beats Ryan Mortimer to get to the semis tomorrow. Huge win for him and that Ruston program. Another guy, 2-match winner tonight that I don't think a lot of people saw coming outside his own program. Alex Romano from Coatesville, winning 2 matches, getting himself into the semis for tomorrow. And last guy I think that impressed me was Chapman from he was a 2-match winner from Hatboro. I joked that he's trying to get to Hershey to take Kaiser with him one last time, being Kaiser's last year, and he goes out and beats the 2-seed Ryan Cody from North Penn, and Chapman's a guy bumped up from 220 because it was a crowded weight class, and Kennerly, Doyle, Medugno, McGuire, and then Chapman somewhere fits in that 3 through 5. Felt that heavyweight was probably the better road, and now he's in the semis at regional. So I think probably a good choice on his part.
Very.
So, just a few guys that we want to talk about there, and we're going to change gears and we're going to talk about the semis. We're going to preview some of the matches. I'll start off. We'll go down the list. And we're just gonna crank through these matches, and guys, feel free to jump in, say anything that I haven't said or anything, something that you may have seen. So at 106, our semifinals, first semifinal will be Doug Zaff, our number 1 seed, against Max Mendez, the 4 seed. Zaff coming off a win over Corey Morbido, Mendez with the win over talented freshman Dayton Del Vicio from Pencrest, and you just want to. I'm gonna stick with the pick I had. Zaff is just wrestling great, and he's on a different level. Mendez is right there. However, I just think at the end of the day, when the smoke clears, it's gonna be Zaff. Punch his ticket to Hershey and getting into the final.
Yeah, no argument here. Yeah. He looks good, man. He looks really good.
Zaff has been solid all season. Don't see it stopping.
I guess one guy we should maybe back up and talk about is Josh Stahl. We kind of, I feel like he's a guy gets overlooked all the time. And Sam and I talked about him, watching him when he wrestled Altrog in the quarters there. It's a guy. It seems like it was so long ago. It was because of being that second round. But he's just talk about poise and calm and cool. And again, he's been here before. So so is Altrog. But the year experience being here as a freshman is so big. Come back that sophomore year, and it showed.
Most definitely, yeah. He looked good, and I think I kind of look forward to that match with him and Luke tomorrow. Luke Lucerne, obviously another great freshman. So
yeah, who do you got in that one?
But you put me on the spot here, but Lucerne looks good, and he's looked good all year. And him coming down a weight class too, competing up at 113, there's something to be said for that. Josh is right there. He's a tough kid, but it's definitely one I'm looking forward for.
Yeah, he definitely opened my eyes, and so that's a solid pick there, Sam. So Bill, Matt Wild and Marco Di Battista. Wild, the senior from Boyertown, he's 41-3 on the year. Di Battista 26-2 from Plymouth White. Marsh, who do you got?
Well, we're going back there. Wild came through with a tough 2-1 win over Delaney. He did everything that he needed to do. Plain and simple, he made it tough to score on him, and that's generally Wild speaking. He does not give up a whole lot of points. Di Battista, it seems like he's been around forever. Yeah. I'm still probably going to go with Wild.
Yeah, I'm not going to hear a peep out of me disagreeing with that one. Again, as we go through these brackets, and we're not going to spend a whole lot of time, but I think Brandon Merritt is we didn't mention him. He's another guy who won 2 matches tonight. Came out against Shane Thompson, the 3 seed, and it wasn't a huge margin he won by, but it was dominant fashion, which he did. So he's in the semis against Lucas Ritchie, and this has the potential to be a good match. But I've said it now for a while that Wild and Meredith would meet 3 weeks in a row, and I'm going to stand by that. I'm going to go Brandon Meredith. He was just, he's on his game right now, and I was talking with, a few guys tonight, and it's like, he's 32-5 now. He's returning 4th place in the state, but he still, at times, I think he doesn't get the credit that due. Like he kind of like an afterthought. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not a slight to him. That's that's almost a compliment. Like he's an afterthought, and all he does is goes out and wins matches.
And
puts in work. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's flying under the radar, and I'm not going to give a finals prediction. I'm going to wait and see what happens. But I definitely think Meredith punches his ticket to get to the semis there. So as we roll over to 120 pounds, I'm going to put you on the spot here again, Sam, and be ready for it. Matt Parker and Luke Resnick. Who do you got and why?
I have Matt Parker. The kid's just a workhorse. I've even wrestled him personally myself, and the kid he wears me out, and I don't know. He's just impressive, and he's fun to watch too. No slight to Luke there. Luke's very good in his own right, but I think Matt's just a little too much for him.
All right, again, solid pick. Not gonna hear anything on me. Hey, Bill, your guy you talked about, Jake Reed and Aiden Burke. That semi. What are you thinking?
This is just a really good bracket. I mean, you look and you see Resnick and Parker and think, wow, that might be that maybe should have been a final. Then you look at the bottom half and you've got a match like Reed and Burke, and it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough to say that. Burke did look really, really strong in that win over Campbell in the quarterfinals. I think I'm going to go with the kid with the more experience and pick Burke in that one, but hesitantly.
Yeah, read over my eyes. I didn't never dispelled the fact that he wasn't tough. I just felt he wasn't on that in that elite level of our 20-pounders, and he's made me a believer.
That round, I think he showed he belongs.
And here's the scary part about this weight class. You have a David Campbell in the wrestlebacks right now, lurking. He's not done yet. Keyway McNair, he was on the ropes early in his match against Logan Regal, had to get a takedown like at the buzzer to win, but he's dangerous. There's a lot of dangerous guys in this weight class, so it's there's zero room for error, because if you make a mistake, you're not going to Hershey on this weight class. So let's roll over to 126, and we have in the first semifinal we have Jacob Campbell and Brandon Bach, and again Bach, another guy, won 2 matches, beat Gerhard Reiter from Kennett in the quarters. Campbell with a win over Antonio Martaccio. Before going further, and we're going to talk about it here now, and we talk about it a little bit. Sam, how many matches in a row did we see 1 seeds concede the first takedown tonight?
I believe it was 3.
3 matches.
Yeah, and
3.
It was.
It just someone posted on the forum today, and I apologize, I don't remember who was talking about this is like one of the most competitive regional tournaments in the past few years, and there was no backing down by anyone. Like guys that
nobody
quote maybe were supposed to lose on paper went out and battled. Martacci went right down and took Campbell down, rode him for a little bit, and carried a lead through part of the first period. We'll talk about the others, but no one backed down tonight. I saw a lot of guys that probably had no business being in matches, stay in matches, because they just decided that they were going to go out and wrestle the full match. And it was really nice to see a lot of great matches. Like I was entertained. The time flew by. My head was on a swivel all night. So getting back to getting redirected, I'm losing my focus. I'm getting excited.
Yeah.
Campbell Bach, Bach looked good tonight, but not good enough. David Campbell punches that ticket Jacob Campbell punches that ticket to the finals.
Hey, shout out to Jacob too. That was his 150th win.
Yeah. That's a good call. That's no small task.
No.
Seems like Boyertown's gotten kids every year getting that 150 win plateau. So, Sam, I'm giving you a good one here. We got Gunnar Fuss, who got some redemption, sweet redemption on Matt Marino, who same round last year when Marino beat Fuss, and Fuss beat him, and we talked about it a little bit earlier, and he gets Brett Callender. Brett, I hope you watch this. I heard you were a little bit upset with me about some of my predictions. And I told your coaches, go out and prove me wrong. So, here's your opportunity, to continue to prove me wrong. But I'm going to let Sam make the choice here on this one.
Well, I'm going to be honest too. And this was a match I actually had going in a different situation in the tournament. But I have Brett winning that match. But again, he shouldn't underestimate Gunnar. Gunnar looked solid today, and I don't know. That's another one that's going to be good one to watch. But I go with Brett there.
Yeah, all right, good call. Again, 2 guys that Counter looking back to get back to Hershey, and Gunnar, was there as a sophomore, did make it the trip back last year, and then Gunnar, who as a freshman qualified for states. I'll go to 132 pounds. We have the senior Zach Trampay, the all-time winningest wrestler at Council Rock, and I believe Bucks County. If that, I'm not 100% positive on that. Don't quote me on that. I know he broke a record the other day, last weekend. And freshman Antonio Petrocelli from O.J. Roberts. Who you got, Bill?
I think it's reasonably obvious. No matter how good Petrocelli is, you got to go with Trampay here. I mean, it says a whole lot when you're the leading winner on Council Rock.
Yeah.
However, Petrocelli, I think, is showing that he's got a very bright future.
Yeah, definitely. Antonio, welcome to the Wrestlebacks. So we roll back over to the bottom half of that bracket, and then we have Nick Lilly, who's been on a tear, and I don't think there was a whole lot of believers in him last week, and he turned some heads, beating Taylor, beating Massetti, getting OW, and then he comes in and he gets, we talked about Cam Robinson, and Cam Robinson's a slick, talented freshman.
Very good.
He's going to be knocking on that door to go to states tomorrow, and I firmly believe that after watching and getting eyes on him. He was dynamic. However, down the stretch, I think that maturity that Lilly has as a high school wrestler was the difference down in in coming back. In the semis, he gets senior Eric Fuentes, who knocked off freshman.
Another stud freshman,
Tamburino from Tenet.
Looks good too.
One of the more entertaining matches of the night.
Yeah, it was actually a very good match.
Real good match. I'm going to stick with my original prediction. I had Lily beating Tamburino. I'm going to say Lily beats Fuentes. Fuentes hasn't lost yet this postseason, and he's real tough to score, and he stays in good position, but so does Lily. I'm just going to say that I'm going to go with my original prediction, even though Fuentes definitely made me more of a believer after that win over Tamburino. So let's go to 138. Sam, you're up. You have Colin Cronin throwing a lobbing a softball here. Maybe not.
Well, maybe not. Colin looked a little roughed up there in that.
Colin looked human
match
tonight.
Most definitely. Again, those first round matches are actually not. They're not that easy to wrestle. No matter who you are, and especially when you get a kid like Evan who's going to come at you like that. But he definitely got knocked off his spot a little bit there.
And then he's wrestling Muhammad Kaba from Academy Park, and Kaba, the senior, 31-5 with the win over Cole Meredith to get here, get to the semis. Taking Cronin.
Yeah, most definitely. I expect him to bounce back tomorrow in the semis. Hopefully, we see the normal Colin Cronin.
Yeah. And then, Bill, we have another semifinal, Eric Hutchinson, guy we talked about earlier, and Kerry Palmer from Rock South. And what are your thoughts on that one?
You got to be pretty impressed with Palmer tearing up Politi the way he did.
I still can't believe that happened. I wasn't believing my eyes.
That result alone is going to lead me towards picking him to top Hutchinson there. One last thing about Colin Cronin, though. No matter how much he got pushed in that match, he did win. He came out on top. He got the points where he needed to score them, and he did what it took and got literally carried off the mat. So he was doing it despite being a little bit less than him 100%.
Yeah. I mean, he's a warrior. I mean, it's going to take.
Let's hope he's feeling a little more healthy tomorrow.
Yeah, he's the guy that's going to leave it all out there. So we go back to we go up to 145 pounds, and in the first semifinal we have Riley Palmer, and senior from Rock South. He's 26-6, and Dan Mancini, O&J Roberts sophomore, is 34-11. I've been called the O&J Homer. Doesn't matter. Not even close. I shouldn't say not even close. Palmer wins. The experience, been there before. The state medal. I can go on and on. Mancini does. He's just a sophomore, has a bright future for District 1. But it's Palmer all day, every day.
Most definitely.
So,
do we have any other unbeaten matchups like we do in the bottom half of that bracket with Wendell and Reddington both coming in without a loss?
Nope.
I don't believe so.
No, because our only undefeated wrestlers coming in were Wendell, Reddington,
and Colin Stevens, I believe.
Yeah, if memory serves me correct. And that's a good point, Bill. And this is gonna be, we're really putting Sam on the spot here.
I got Bryce pulling this one out. He's been wrestling well all postseason. I got to see him at the I guess it's called the PAC now championships, and he looked real good there. He looked good tonight, and I expect more of the same. So
go ahead, Bill.
I would agree. Wendell's got some really nice marquee wins, like over Mancini and Politi over the course of the year, but I'm going to lean with Reddington here.
He's just he's got that little bit more experience, and this is what has the makings of a great match. I agree. Reddington's gonna handle it. He's rested. He wasn't on the mat too long today, so.
No.
But let's go up to 52, and this is going to be some good semifinals here.
Yeah, this is a nice bracket. This is going to be competitive.
My turn, I guess. Yeah. We go Colin Shannon from North Penn, and who was in a tough match. I'm going to talk about that in a second. His senior, he's 36-3, and Max Livingston, 32-4, senior from Upper Darby. I'm going to go Colin Shannon. Shannon was in a dogfight with Dan Labus, and Labus was one of the guys I talked about that is tough on top, and he has that wild card in his back pocket when he needs it. And I didn't really understand the officials calling a stalemate when Labus had the cradle locked up there in the third period. He took top, he got on top, he had the cradle, he was coming out, and I was across the gym, because I was trying to watch all four mats to keep track of results, but they call stalemate, and then Labus never got back to the cradle. That was his what he used to dispel Roman Moser in the first period of his first round match, and I felt it could be the equalizer in his match with Shannon, but didn't have the opportunity to. So the other semifinal, which could be a lot of fireworks.
Pinners.
Exactly. This is gonna be a good one. We have Chris Barry, the senior, 34-9 from Boyertown, and Chase Stevens, Coatesville senior, 34-1. Who you got and why?
Well, I'm gonna go with Stevens. He's got a little more pedigree going in, being a state medalist, and both kids are extreme. They're tough to score on. Barry, his match was pretty fun to watch in his quarter. Yeah, very very fun to watch, and it just seems like he can hit that cradle from anywhere, which is always dangerous. So, but I have Chase winning this one.
Yeah, that's how I see it going as well. But I think it's going to be, it's going to go back. I think both back and forth a little bit, and then Stevens wins it in the third.
Yeah.
Bill, any opinion on that one?
No argument. You both nailed it.
I would go 160, and this weight class again, something that you had the opportunity to talk about in the preview, that you have two wrestlers on a collision course right here, and they're got one more step before they face each other. So Bill Stillings and Jacob Folk. Stillings from Penridge, the juniors, 34-1 on the year. He's our 1 seed. Folk, the 4 seed. Upper Perk, senior, 29-7. Who you got?
Stillings. He rarely seems to be in a bad position. He's really tough on top, and he's been putting in a lot of work and placing high at some high-level tournaments. I'm just going to go with him based on experience and the level that he's been competing at.
All right. I can't argue that at all. Sam, you got any argument there?
No, not at all. He's impressive. He's an impressive young man. He's got a bright future. So
yeah. We have Colin Hurley, sophomore, 23-2 from Ruston, and Ryan Resnick, the senior from O.J. Roberts. He's 39-2. I'm gonna take Resnick with this one. I was impressed with Hurley with his win over Vogels, grinding it out. But at the same time, Vogels is nursing an injury right now. It's there's no secret. You watch him wrestle, he's not 100%. This really in a perfect world where Vogels healthy, is his Vogels Resnick match. Probably not, because Vogels probably would have been somewhere in the mix and finished somewhere else. But in all reality, Resnick's gonna be too much for Hurley from neutral and from top. And he's not going to ever let Hurley get comfortable in this match. So I'm going to take Resnick there to set up the Stillings Resnick match, and that's where I'm going to stop it, because we have to have some kind of content for our preview of the finals tomorrow afternoon.
More on that tomorrow.
Yeah, more on that tomorrow. All right, Sam, here we go. Now, when their weight class of in my opinion, was just, you could have picked names out of a hat of who was going to make the semifinals, except for anyone named Cox.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that. And he again looked solid, as he usually does. Not super flashy, just strong, chucks ahead, and I expect him to do it again tomorrow in the semis. So McCoy's wrestling well, like you said earlier, but I think Cox is going to be a little too much for him.
Yeah, McCoy with that mustache, he reminds me like a gunslinger. He's just go for broke, and he's got it in his back pocket, and he uses to his advantage. So with that, we're going to move down to the bottom half of the bracket. Got Bill's boy Ryan Sharpless in the semis against Ryan Finn from Pottsgrove, the seniors, 29-3.
That's an anything can happen kind of match. I think I'm going to lean towards Finn because of his experience in the past, getting to this level, and this is the first time Ryan's been here. But you never know. He's been proving it the last couple of matches, coming from behind in both, and anybody who can pin can win.
Definitely. This weight class, top to bottom, it's, like I said, nothing against any other guys. It's Cox, and then it could be any combination of 7 or 8 guys filling out those next 4 spots.
I agree. But...
So, I think Finn's a safe bet, but I'm a Ryan Sharpless believer right now.
Yeah,
after watching. Yeah,
he looked good today. So.
All right, so we go to 182, and we have our 1C Elijah Jones, a junior from Boyertown. He's 40-6, and he's taking on Sean McBride, Coatesville Seniors, 25-11. I've said it all year. McBride's a very unorthodox wrestler. Never wins pretty, and that's all well and good, but Jones is going to win. Jones going to win bonus points probably. Yeah, I just think he's going to have too much in the tank for McBride, and it's not going to go well for McBride. He'll drop down into the wrestlebacks after that. So
no argument here.
Yeah. Then we have Chase Smith, the Springford sophomores, 24-13 in the regional semis against Kevin Edwards, Avon Grove Seniors, 29-2. What do you got?
Gotta go Edwards there. Chase is wrestling well again, but the senior, he's just got too much experience for him. I think it's kind of been destined for him and Elijah to kind of hit each other.
Exactly. It's another one of those where you have two guys on the collision course, just neither one is. They're not flashy winners. Like Jones, I mean, he's got 41 wins on the year, and it's a guy that doesn't get a lot of credit for what his body of work, and I think he relishes that. I think anyone that when you're out in the open, you're winning matches and people are talking about you, then it puts pressure on. I think he just likes to fly under the radar. He's a quiet kid and gets on the mat, and he's just a killer when he gets on the mat. And Edwards the same way. Edwards, the other guy, doesn't get a lot of credit either for what he's done.
Last year, Edwards was the Cinderella story of District 1, getting to Hershey because his opponent forfeited in the fifth place match, then goes down and gets a medal. I think he very much would like to not have to go through that again and just punch his ticket to Hershey in semifinals. And
I read that article that Nate Heckenberger did, and he's sitting off to our right now, trying to meet deadline, about Edwards and working on his family's barn, and how he wasn't really satisfied with that sixth place finish last year. He thought about what the work he needed to do to get better, to be higher up on that podium, and that was just something that just it's that attitude, that mentality is what makes him the winner that he is.
Yeah, and that's what makes all these guys the ones that separate themselves. They typically have that attitude. I believe we had a conversation like that earlier today. About another young man. So,
so let's go over to 195 pounds. We have Cole Zaff, who didn't even wrestle tonight. He received a forfeit from Cade Lemaire. Cade Lemaire lost via disqualification of Jack Morgan and could not continue. Hopefully Cade's okay and he's able to wrestle back tomorrow. I'm not sure what it was, if it was head or back. So like I said, I hope that he's able to go tomorrow, being a senior and everything, and already missing a lot of time for what appears to be a shoulder injury. So, wishing the best to Cade before we even go any further. And then Zaff, who's 38-3 on the year, he has Andrew Lamberjack, the senior from Ruston, who's 32-11. Lamberjack was another comeback kid today.
Looked good today.
And again, a guy he doesn't win pretty. He doesn't do it. It doesn't look great. Hardly ever. But effective, and that's all that matters. At this point in time of the year, winning ugly is same as winning pretty, and he was the poster child for that tonight. And unfortunately, for those two big comeback wins, he gets Cole Zaff, and Andrew, you're going to the Concy semis. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
I think we're going to see the Zapp brothers that are going to be in the finals here.
Yep.
So.
And the next one is, this is an intriguing one. Sam, and now you're getting challenged. You got a softball before you get a challenge. So, we have Noah Wood, another two-match winner, 31-6 on the year. He's a senior from Quakertown. And Nick Duliakis, 26-6, senior from Owen J. Roberts.
Yeah, and Noah, again, I watched, I got to see both of his matches today, but he just grind. It might not be the prettiest, but he puts points on the board, man. And I was impressed with him. But Nick's been wrestling really well this postseason, and I think I'm gonna go with Nick. I didn't even get to see him wrestle, and I didn't see his match, but I've always been impressed with his wrestling ability, and I think he's just gonna overwhelm Noah there. So.
Any comment on that one there, Bill?
No, I have nothing to add here.
No? All right, so you're up, Bill. Here we go. Brian Kennerly, another one of our undefeated wrestlers.
One.
We
Yeah,
did. Sorry, Brian. We'll be better. I promise.
Yeah.
We'll be better when we talk about you in the semis, after semis. But Brian Kennerly, senior from Upper Darby, 31-0. He's got Alex Ramondo, the guy we talked about, 2-match winner, being Marlon Cephas and Owen Versby. Coachville Jr., who's now 21-5. We got Bill.
I believe that Kennerly's going to stay unbeaten and move on with relative ease. That was a big surprise to see Ramondo reaching the semifinals.
Yep.
In my opinion, good for him. But I think he's going to be dropped down into the consolations.
Yep. Come back over to my side, we got Mike McGuire. Sorry.
Medugno, actually.
What's that? Medugno won?
Yeah, he won
did?
that match.
Yeah, 7-3.
Yeah.
Oh, ooh.
It's all good.
Sorry, folks. It's been a long day. Coming off 2 days of conferences, so those people that gave me, asked why the previews are so late. I had parent-teacher conferences the last 2 nights till almost 8. So I apologize. Sometimes Mike and our real jobs do get in the way of stuff. So again, apologize. It'll be better. I was so good tonight. Thought I had McGuire. I thought I saw he won it. Anyway, so Medugno and Doyle, second week in a row now, Medugno is going to get the chance to go up against one of the elite guys we have at 220 here in District 1. And didn't go so well from last week in the finals of the District 1 West tournament with Kennerly. And this one's not going to go very well either. I think Doyle and Kennerly just have separated themselves and put them on each other. They're on a different level than everyone else. And as a result, Doyle's going to get the win, and he's going to set that rematch with Kennerly from earlier in the year at King of the Mountain, I believe, when they wrestled. So I don't think you guys have any arguments on that one.
No,
none at all.
So let's go over Sam, and Bill will close these last 2 out, you guys. We got Josh Walls, the Avongrove senior, who's 33-3, taking on Kyle Osterhout, the Shanley senior, who's 29-6.
Heavyweight is an absolute crapshoot this year. We have got nobody that's been there before.
That pause just speaks volumes about this weight class. It does. It is.
Walls looked pretty good in that first match. He's got his big brother who's been there before, who he's been training with. I think I'm just gonna lean towards Walls, just on his workout partner.
Yeah, I mean that's who I'd go with as well. And then again, just grab a grenade, throw in that lower half of the bracket. You got Goodman there. I made my picks in his weight class on his bottom half of the bracket based on the fact that I thought McGinley was 100% healthy. He very well may be. I didn't get a chance to talk to Coach Horvath or Cummings or any of them, or Hemer, but he didn't look good in that first match, and he lost to Shane. Actually, he lost to Shane Anderson, and that's not just a mild upset. That's a pretty big upset in my opinion. And then Shane Anderson goes out against Anthony Goodman, and Goodman wins. Not taking anything away from Goodman. He was impressive last week, and again, took care of business today, put himself in the semis. But then you go down to the bottom half of the bracket, and you have Nick Chapman, who pinned Matt Lepore. Not many people saw that coming. No. Lepore, we later on found out, has been nursing an elbow injury. So I don't know that he's wrestling back tomorrow. I think he might be out of the tournament. And then Chapman goes out and beats the 2-seed Ryan Cody from North Penn. And, he just wrestled a very smart match. Chapman only weighs 210 pounds, and he's wrestling the big guys. And, he wrestles, and he makes them have to wrestle. So this Goodman-Chapman match, Goodman's not a really big heavyweight. He's tall, but he's not going to have a lot of beef to put on Chapman per se. So I don't know who to go with. I was talking with a Marple Newtown coach. I feel like if I don't pick Goodman, they're going to be mad at me. If they ever watch this, I don't know. But I like, Chapman, I think, is wrestling well. And I joked about the fact that he's trying to take Coach Kaiser. Hershey won last time, and Kaiser's last year. This one, flip of the coin, roll the dice. I'm going to go Goodman just because I think he's going to be be a little more physical in the match than Chapman will.
Yeah, I've actually have had Goodman in my finals anyway, so I would agree with that.
So we're going to change gears here to the team race. We talked about individuals. Right now, as the team race stands, Council Rock South has 40 points. Owen Roberts is in second place with 28.5 points. Boyertown's in third with 26 points. And surprise, Coatesville in fourth with 24 points. Again, I said it all year about the Coatesville program. Bear Stevens last year, he's going out with his son Chase, already head coach and waitings on the staff. They have a nice team. They go out and they don't have the depth of stars and talent that a lot of their teams have, but the guys they have go out and win. And they have, I believe they have 3 semifinalists. They have Ramondo, Wendell, and Stevens. And I think I
feel like they might even have a fourth.
They might. Sam will check on that.
But
McBride.
That's McBride, you're right.
Thinking,
They have 4 semifinalists. Sorry, McBride. We forgot about you. But with that said, looking at the semis, Council Rock South has 5 semifinalists. Owen Roberts has 5 semifinalists, and Boyertown has 4 semifinalists. And we talked a little bit before we started here about what we thought would happen. In those semifinals, you look at the Rock South and Owen J. They're going to face off head to head at 145 with Palmer and Mancini, and I think we all agree Palmer's gonna win that match, and then Trampay and Petrocelli are gonna see each other at 132. We can all agree that Trampay's gonna win that match. So that's 2 they're gonna put in. Mendez, I think we might be in agreement that Mendez doesn't get to the semi or doesn't get to the finals, but Doyle does, and we're missing one more. Kerry Palmer. Kerry Palmer has a very good shot to get to the finals. I think Sam picked him to get there, if memory serves me correct. And then we look at O&J. They have 2 that that we already identified probably don't make it in. Resnick, yes. Duliakis, yes. And Luke Resnick, no. So right there, we by our estimation, they're 2 and 5 in the semis. So that's going to widen that gap between those 2. But the wild card,
Boyertown could make things interesting.
Yeah. And Bill and Sam talk about that a little bit. Why they make it interesting.
With their 4 semifinalists, all 4 of them could get through.
I
think as we were going through, we had them favored to get through.
I think unanimously we had all 4 of them getting through, and then you have you throw in some guys that haven't wrestlebacks, and
you got to figure the Campbell brother that lost tonight is going to continue
win some matches tomorrow. Yep. It's that wrestlebacks are where these tournaments are won.
Yeah, and that's where they won. That's where they won.
Pick up bonus points.
Yep, oh yeah, that's where they won the West last week. Was in those wrestlebacks. Again, Christian Fox to regionals. Mike Parecka. I was talking with the Boyertown coach, and Parecka, I believe, if we look at his record here at 195, I think this is something. And don't quote Parecka. Lost to Wood, and he's 25 and 14 as a senior. I think Coach Haley or Coach Cooley, one of them, said he somehow had only like 3 wins last year as a junior. He won 25, and that's something to be said. Like that's the it was guys like that won that title for them last year. It was last week in the District 1 West tournament, and to me, they're going to need efforts like that to propel them this week. Their Rock South is going to, they're not going to get every guy into the finals, but if Boyertown can put 4 in, that is beyond huge for them. And Wild, Jacob Campbell, like they can score, and they can win close tight matches, and they can win matches big. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. So you guys got anything to add before we wrap this up?
I'm just looking forward to another great day of wrestling.
Yeah, folks, if you have an opportunity and you're watching this before you come out to the semis, or you're thinking about maybe whether or not you want to come to the semis, I think we're all in agreement to come out and watch the semis. You're going to see some great matches, because that's really the round.
This last round was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that semifinal round, that's where everyone's like, they're really pushing in that round, because that whether they get to when they get to the final, they're already going to Hershey.
They're going to Hershey.
Oh, yeah. They can let loose and maybe scale back a little bit in the final, and a lot of times those finals become tight matches because guys are afraid to make mistakes, but they're already going. It's when you don't win that match and you go into that semifinal. Luckily, we get the 5th qualifier this year, so you really have 2 shots now. Once you win this match, once you get into the semis, you have 2 opportunities to go. Right. With that said, a lot of guys really just open it up in the semis to get there and leave no doubt, I'm already in. And whatever happens,
you get 3 chances to win 1, and you may as well get it out of the way the first one.
Exactly. Get it out of the way and put it behind you, and then whatever happens in the final. So, and then a lot of finals matches. Again, we talked about a few that are gonna that possibly could happen. And we alluded to some tonight. I'm not going to jinx any of them because, again, we have to have something to talk about tomorrow.
Exactly.
So, guys, if you don't got anything else, we'll wrap up right now, and we'll say goodbye until tomorrow. And looking forward to just another great weekend, and totally in agreement with the fact that this is one of the more competitive regional tournaments, just in day one, that I've seen in a long time here in District 1.
Agreed.
Yeah, I second that. It was very good. Very good.
All right, so this is PA Wrestling signing off. I'm Joe Youngblood.
Sam Walters.
And I'm Bill Rudick.
Okay, you guys have a great night. Thanks.
Good night, all.
Good night.